The Citizen's Handbook. The Citizen's Handbook.
Kia ora koutou. Welcome to part 1 of the Citizen's Handbook election special. Earlier this year, we released a whole season of stuff about how to be a New Zealand citizen. And then we found out there was an election coming up. So we thought we'd put together a few more tips to help get you through. Now, this first video is for people who don't plan on voting. So let me just start off by saying to those people, fair enough. There are lots of reasons you might want to tap out of politics. People who talk about politics are loud and unpleasant, and they're all confident they're right, even though they all disagree. Not to mention that the whole Westminster system was brought over and violently imposed by Britain, the brilliant minds behind Brexit, and pudding eels and jelly. But the fact remains that our Parliament is constantly making up rules, and constantly making up punishments for not following those made-up rules. Groups of people who vote, their priorities go right to the top of the agenda, and people who don't vote, well, they get ghosted by the MPs. Luckily, if you want to vote, you can. Unless you're under 18 or serving more than 3 years in prison. But if that's not you, then congratulations! This year voting is easier than ever. There'll be polling booths at schools, libraries, town halls and churches, and also down at the mall. So you can exercise your civic rights and then grab some cheap sunnies from the stall down by the muffin break. It'll be like when e-scooters first arrived. You won't be able to leave the house without being run over by a polling booth. Not only that, but you have a full 2 weeks to vote, from the 3rd to the 17th of October. There is no voting day anymore. There's only voting fortnight. Like the video game, maybe? I don't know, I'm 26. You don't even have to be enrolled before you go to the polling booth. You can enroll on the spot. Just turn up and say, "Me vote?" and someone will be there to help you do it. And if you're worried you're going to make a bad decision, remember, it's okay to do a bad vote. It's not what we recommend, but it might happen. If you end up regretting your vote later, just lie to your friends about who you voted for. I promise you, old people are voting very confidently. And, I mean, you've seen what they share on Facebook. I think some of them think that minions are actually real. Now, this year, you get 4 votes, but you can do as few or as many as you want. Just know that if you do more than 4, you might have committed electoral fraud. 2 of those votes are referendums. No, I will not be calling them referenda, you shut up! 1 for legalising voluntary euthanasia, and 1 for legalising voluntary weed smoking. And if you want a hand with those votes, we made some videos for them too, so go watch those. But after this, I'm not done. The other 2 votes you get are the ones about what you reckon Parliament should look like. And that's important because last time they chose Beehive, which is a ridiculous decision. I'm kidding, of course, that was just an hilarious joke. I mean, the other votes determine who gets into Parliament. The first one, over here, is your party vote. The idea is the more of these ticks a party gets, the more seats they'll have in Parliament. More party votes means more seats, means more power. Parties get into Parliament if they clear 5% of the total party vote or win an electorate seat. Once they're in Parliament, the parties can team up like little robots trying to form a great big robot or government. The other one, over here, is your electorate vote. It's for the person you would like to represent your little corner of New Zealand. Now, only one person can win this. There's no teaming up. There's no big super robot here. There's just one winner and a bunch of sad little loser robots, which is why most people vote for one of the candidates who stands a pretty good chance of winning on their own. See? All done. Easy. Now, before I go, let's have a quick chat about the Maori role and the general role. Quick, it's history time. Back in the day, tikanga Maori was the law of the land, and rangatira were the leaders and diplomats of this little group of islands. Then, in response to British colonisation, there were Maori parliaments and Maori kings and queens and all sorts of kotahitanga, or unity movements. There were also lots of protests and peaceful resistances and military offensives. And in response to that, British settlers either started wars against those movements or went la 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 and pretended they didn't exist. But after a bit too much war, the British said, "Hey, Never mind your parliament. Forget about that. Why don't we all work together in our parliament? So, in 1867, they introduced 4 Maori seats into the settler government, a tiny fraction of the nearly 80 seats total, and gave themselves a big pat on the back. So, why is that relevant? Because those Maori seats are still part of the settler government, or, as most people call it today, the government. And if you're of Maori descent, you can register to vote for those seats by going onto the Maori roll. Just say, Maori roll please, when you register. You get the same party vote options as everyone else, but a whole different set of electorate candidates to choose from. The more people who go on the Maori roll, the more Maori seats there are. However, if you're already enrolled to vote and you want to switch between the general roll and the Maori roll, then bad news. You have to wait for the Maori electoral option in 2024. Until then, you're stuck.
What the fuck?
And yes, the Electoral Commission agrees with you that it's a very dumb rule, but nobody's changed it yet. So I'm very sorry, if you've already chosen Maori roll or general roll, you gotta stay on that for the next 2 elections. Why? Good question. So, there you go. That's voting. Go and have a crack, and if it doesn't work, try again in 3 years. And look, we've tried to convince you with nice, rational arguments, but if that hasn't done the trick and you still don't want to vote, then here's some good old-fashioned fear-mongering.
Hey, is this yours?
What is it?
It's an enrollment form.
Oh, nah, not me.
Weird.
Maybe the big orange man brought it.
Yeah, maybe.
What was that?
I don't know. Probably just a cat. I think voting closes today. You gonna go?
Honestly, I'm not really feeling it this year, eh? Plus, I just got comfy, so I'm just gonna chill here.
Yeah, I keep forgetting this year.
What was that?
I don't know.
Go check it out.
You go check it out.
Fine. Hello? Hello?
What is it?
Where are the car keys?
What's going on?
What electorate are we in?
I don't know.
Tell me who the candidates are. We have to get out of here.
Why?
We have to go vote. What's the referendum about again?
Where to?
Oh my God! What are they? He's here.
Be sure to vote in this year's general election from the 3rd to the 17th of October.
There you have it. Do your research, get out there and give it a go. Voting is only one part of being a citizen, but it is an important part. If you'd like to know more about being a citizen of New Zealand, you can check out the Citizen's Handbook on RNZ.
The
Ka kite anō.
citizens
See you later.
The
Bye.
citizens